Hi, hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Indian Hill Tomahawk Stadium for the biggest state matchup in lacrosse in Ohio this year. Paul Neihart alongside Bobby Schmidt for the Indian Hill team playing Upper Arlington, the Golden Bears. Bob, this is just absolutely monstrous.
This is something else, Paul. Great weather, beautiful night. Going to be a great matchup. We've seen a lot of great games this year, but I think that this is going to be the best game by far, and it's going to be a treat.
You know what? These two teams have come up totally pumped up. They've this Upper Arlington team got here, just a little late, about an hour and a half, and they had some trouble on I-71. But they got here and they've totally just been they've been juiced on the sidelines. They're ready for this matchup, as is this Indian Hill team. They were cranking rap before this game from their locker room, and you can tell both these teams are just totally pumped up. And when that happens, this is just going to be an absolute excellent game.
Yeah, both teams want this game so badly. I mean, this is bragging rights. This is for Indian Hill. This is their big test. At Division One. I mean, they've had a couple. They faced Scioto, but this is really going to be the big one. I think this is where they can really, make the name for themselves and really, get everybody who's doubting them to, shut their mouth.
Upper Arlington UA beat the Dublin Scioto team by 5. So that tells you that they lost to Dublin Scioto by 5. Excuse me. So that tells you just exactly what this Braves team has in store for them. As when you get two teams like this fired up and ready to go, as we start up with Cole Kuzny on the faceoff, you never know what can happen.
No.
First possession of the game here at Tomahawk Stadium is going to come out to scramble for the ball. Mike Dorn scrambles.
Wow.
It's going to be a first ground ball. Mike Dorn coming on. Upper Arlington starting to spread out across the field. What you can tell early on is they shoot and they get an early score. And, we saw this against Dublin Scioto as they came out with 7 seconds into the game and scored a goal. And, Upper Arlington comes out in 10 seconds into the game and scores a goal. So, nice shot there by Upper Arlington, but certainly nothing to write home about. That's almost something you can, not write off. But, Bobby, what'd you see there?
Oh, I don't know. We've seen this from this Indian Hill team, and it's nothing to get worked up over. They come out, and I think the nerves are just running a little bit too much, and they get a little, overexcited. But once these guys start settling into the game, as you were talking about that, Scioto beating up Arlington, we know what this team is capable of, and you're not going to see that for the rest of the night.
And if anything, I think it might work in Indian Hill's favor, but as it allows for Upper Arlington maybe to lay back a little, and that plays right in the hands of Indian Hill. Nonetheless, Upper Arlington pushes it forward here. And it looks like
come on.
Early laundry, Bob. You didn't like that.
Let them play. Let them play.
Looks like I'm not sure they're going to call the foul on, but
he tripped over himself.
Yeah, it looks like the stick had assistance, but the feet's definitely a boo-boo there. And it looks like Alex Cole's going to be whistled for the no-no. And Indian Hill's going to be a man down just 30 seconds into this game, and Upper Arlington already off to a 1-0 cushion.
That's fine. I mean, I wouldn't worry at this point. You don't want to, have too many penalties in this game because this UA team will beat you on that. But, this team's going to play smart, and I know Coach Chamberlain has told them that over and over again. So let's see what happens.
Interesting move here early on as Scott Perrin goes in for Matt McCaw, and maybe
had a good week of practice.
He had a good week of practice. We got the word in from the coaches. We saw with their own eyes he was hustling around and everything out there. So maybe Matt, he could be injured. We'd hate to speculate, but he's definitely been pulled early on in this game. Yeah. So Coach Gavin must have said something this week, and he's going to send a message to his team right now. As a shot by Upper Arlington falls long and hustle by Chris Stokely. And they're not going to give the benefit of the doubt to him, but he's going to get time to rush back.
We've seen him come up with a fair majority of those. He's kind of patented that dive as the ball's going out after a shot. And
yeah, that's
good hustle by him. You're going to see that probably more than once tonight.
Trademark Stokely.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, as that pass sails high, and that's going to fall out. They're going to fall it out of bounds, and that was Bernard for. Looks like that was Upper Arlington's Bernard, midfielder. They're one of their best middies. He'll be guarded by Mike Dorn tonight, so we can expect big things out of him. But that pass just sailed over his head. It was a good effort by him, nonetheless.
Well, this will be the Braves' first opportunity to go on offense, and Chris Stokely
brought that out of the goal, and it looks like he had heavy pressure from the Upper Arlington defense. So obviously they've seen Chris Stokely do that on tape. Whether or not that is an IHTN tape they have, it's undecided at this point. But they definitely played him pretty aggressive. As Indian Hill gets their first offensive opportunity tonight. And
come on, that's just careless.
What, did you see something there, Bob?
Case Kuzma, number 27, wasn't really paying attention there, and he stepped on the end line.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a change of possession.
And that's also, he's going to get subbed out of the game, too, in favor of David Kariakis. So once again, Coach Gavin not afraid to go to his pine here early on in case guys are playing lazy.
Yeah, I don't know if that was lazy. That just could be nerves once again. I mean, this is a big game. This is the patented, high emotions,
yeah, sure.
Testosterone flowing.
Lots of testosterone.
Lots of testosterone.
Anabolic.
That's anabolic.
Laundry here, there, and that's tough call for Indian Hills. They had a 3-on-1, and the Upper Arlington guy was hitting a knee there, and that was on the lacrosse field, of course. He was on his knees, and it was a tough break for Indian Hills. So speaking of Upper Arlington, looks like the Upper Arlington cheering section is finding their way in. Group of young adults.
Yeah.
Late arriving crowd at best. Maybe they had some traffic problems.
I think a lot of that's the JV coming in, but also it looks like some common folk coming in with them.
They have a Upper Arlington flag hanging over there, a golden bear of sorts.
It's cute.
That's not Jack Nicholas. It's
no,
an 85-year-old man with a shrivelly complexion.
No,
that's just a golden bear.
It's not a Jack Nicholas school.
No.
We want to clarify that right now.
Yes.
Golden Bear, there's no relation between the two.
It's just a tough icon, similar to that of the Brave.
Right.
But nonetheless, right now, Upper Arlington playing the tougher game as they've had more scoring opportunities and now have a 1-0 cushion, as that's just a lazy play by Upper Arlington. One of the few mistakes they've made earlier on with 9:30 left in the first half.
Well,
first quarter, excuse me.
Braves used to kill bears, so maybe it's a little foreshadowing for you, Paul.
Well, if you want to look at the symbolism, by all means do so, Bob. But right now, Indian Hill's playing a little lazy out there, and we saw this, and they've been playing like this ever since that Dublin Scioto loss. Maybe that took a little fire out of their bellies, but that's something that they've done quite frequently.
Yeah, this team has not been playing as well as we saw them play some early games in the year, and I don't know what the cause of that is.
Fatigue.
Maybe, but this team's in pretty good condition.
Sure.
Some people do want to say that it is that Scioto game. Maybe, who are we to tell? We're just, the announcers and commentators.
Two of the finest young chaps in Indian Hill,
yeah.
Bob. Nonetheless, Scioto's passing around here. We've had some sloppy play despite the first 10 seconds of the game, where Upper Arlington had a bit of a scoring spree. Nonetheless, another shot on goal here, deflected by Indian Hill, and it's Adam Tolliver can't pick up the loose ball, but he finally comes up with it there. Nice job to come back on that. Good effort as he spins out and hits the deck. As that's probably another case of nerves there.
Yeah. Adam was working hard. He just didn't have anybody get the ball off to.
It's all about the footing, Bob.
Yeah,
we've talked about that on our broadcast with the socks and the bottom
and the new lights.
And the new lights. I mean, the glare is just the shadows and what have you. Nonetheless, Upper Arlington catching a quick breather here, it looks like, as they're going to put in new personnel here. As Uwa tries to get something going here on offense again. They've had plenty of chances earlier on. As they've had a shot, they try to pick up a cut man, but that just fires wide. Nice defense by Indian Hill to collapse on that. And it's going to be saved by Upper Arlington, but it's
Ryan
for naught.
Bartel to clear it.
Guys, Bob, excuse me, for guys that are big for Indian Hill tonight, for Indian Hill to win, what are the big guys that have to show up?
I mean, it's going to be a total team effort to beat a group, like this Upper Arlington team has brought with them. But the big components tonight are going to be, as always, number 39 and number 20, Sean Chamberlain and Eddie Ferrugia. Also, it's going to require great defensive play to, keep these shooters down for this Upper Arlington. Alex Cole, Ross Beckstrom, and Ryan Bartel are going to have their hands full tonight. And, I think that's what's really going to come down to.
Freshman phenom Danny Johnson makes his first appearance into the game. He makes contact with the ball, and then it goes out to Cole Kuzno, who tries to push it up for Indian Hill on offense and try to get something going. There's Eddie. Oh, he shoots in the goal. Oh, and an effort coming back. The goalie, Strively can't find it for Upper Arlington, but nonetheless, they get a chance to pass up. And another lazy pass by this Upper Arlington team as they show early on that they are not impregnable, and they have a little bit of a chink to their armor. As if Indian Hill can play better, they can capitalize on some of these Upper Arlington errors, Bob.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And their goalie, Shively, is believed to be the weakest link in this Upper Arlington team. So that's good news because that means the Braves will be able to score on them.
Well, we'd hope so. If they could just get through this defense, everything should fall into place, I think. So.
Yeah, these guys are really hustling on both sides. The ball spent a little bit too much time down in the Braves defense, but nothing significant has really come of it. One goal to count for, but some good hustle, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, everything will fold into place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this Indian Hill team's not going to go away quietly. Is that one thing we have noticed earlier on, we mentioned just a few minutes ago, is Gavin Chamberlain is going to his bench frequently here. I think maybe he's afraid of this depth of Upper Arlington, or he's just trying to keep fresh legs out there in case this game does go overtime or double overtime or fourth quarter and things get a little hairy. You might want to go ahead and do that, Bob.
Well, Paul, that's not a strategy that we've seen from him really this year. Digging into the bench, he normally stays pretty true with his starters. Really only significant change, not necessarily significant. The only change is really coming, with their midi lines. And, he's had in Scott Perrin tonight and behind seeing some new faces later on also.
Indian Hill gets a chance to pass it up, but just as quickly as they get that chance, they throw the ball away. So they're definitely not capitalizing here early on. And right now, like we said, things are getting very sloppy, and Upper Arlington has yet to really capitalize either. And we got ourselves a bit of a tug-o-war. In this case, two teams are tugging in a warlike atmosphere. And yeah, there's a nice shot. Holy mackerel, you can save that one for the highlight reel.
That's one for the highlight tape.
That was Upper Arlington's best attack man, Drake. He just was totally had his back to the goal, and he just put it behind the back shot thing of some sort.
Yeah, a little behind the back action.
And Chris Stokely just was not prepared for it, as he shouldn't be. In that case, Bob, is that a case of the defender getting his body on him, or what? Can you really just do nothing about that thing?
That's just a great play. I mean, it's a tough shot. You're not expecting it. It's not not one of the more practical ones. And I think he just may have caught Chris Stokely and a little off guard.
Sure. Well, right now, Cole Kuzin is going to try to take a stand for this Indian Hill team as he pushes the ball upfield, as he tries to get this Indian Hill team going. They've had slow starts as of that Dublin-Scioto game. So right now they're relying on Eddie Ferrugia, who's falling all over the place. This Indian Hill team's spending more time on their seats than oh wow, look at this. Yeah, sure. A lot of swapping going on. Indian Hill's not in any groove yet, but here's Sean Chamberlain with it, who passes wide of about 3 Indian Hill guys. Matt McCall comes over to try to recover it, but we just have a mad rush for the ball, and this is turned into something of a third-grade peewee soccer game here.
Yeah.
The beehives forming and whatnot.
Right. Somebody I forgot to mention was number 1 for the Braves, Matt McCall, who has been nothing less than one of the more solid players for this Braves team. And I mean, he's just had a great year. I mean, he's playing great, plays well all around. He plays great defense. He's probably the best midi at bringing the ball up the field. And when he gets down there, not only can he make a great pass, but he can also shoot the ball as well. So an all-around great player for the Braves. He will also be a big factor tonight for them.
Well, with 4:40 left here in the first quarter, Indian Hill's been off to a stumbling start as they're facing a 2-0 deficit. As this Braves team has come out a little slow, and this Upper Arlington's capitalizing on Indian Hill's many errors right now. But still plenty of ball game left. And Indian Hill just needs to try to turn things around here and get their big guys involved, which Indian Hill is probably their 2 best players, or their 2 attackmen, Eddie Ferrugia and Sean Chamberlain. And if they can't play defense, then they can't get their attackmen the ball. But right now, Ryan Bartell tries to sprint upfield and get it to those guys, Bob.
Yeah, I'd like to see the ball getting the sticks of those guys a little bit more. They haven't really had a whole lot of touches, but that's also a tribute to this UA defense playing just all over them.
Sure.
Wearing them like a cheap suit.
Wearing them like a cheap suit, right. Yeah, that's they're wearing an extra smalls. Right now, Sean Chamberlain left something behind there as he was totally strafed by his man, and the ball was just completely knocked loose. Here's a shot on goal off the crossbar, and Indian Hill catches a break there. Yeah, that one had all the makings of a disaster. Boy, that's a big break for Indian Hill as Uwa's shot just goes off the top of the crossbar, and that one had a nice little clank to it.
And as we say, Paul, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
And right now, this is lacrosse. Not horseshoes or hand grenades, any sort like that.
Not to be confused. Might see hand grenades later, but
well, just in this UA crowd, if that picks up, which we can only cross our fingers at it and say no. But
well, also a new look that we're seeing tonight, Paul, is the fact that the Upper Arlington or the UA crowd is on the other side of the field.
Sure,
They're not mixed with the Indian Hill crowd, and that was a rule instated after the Dublin-Scioto game.
Yeah. When
we had a little incident and some of the fans got into it a little bit.
Yeah, here's Eddie Ferrugia. He's getting attacked here, and you can see he's a little frustrated.
Yeah.
And he's getting double-teamed every time, it looks like, and that's just a tough break for Indian Hill, and I think they're going to have to find a way to switch that. And, yeah, like you said, Bob, as UA passes it up here. Oh, another cut man they missed. See, they've had that cut man every time, and they just keep missing him. So Indian Hill's, it's 2-0 deficit right now, but it could be much worse because Upper Arlington's definitely missed a lot of their cut man, and it could be a 4 to 5 4 or 5-0 game right now if that ball doesn't go off the crossbar or what have you.
It's hard to tell from up here whether or not those are bad passes or if the Indian Hill defense is playing that well, but whatever it is, let's hope it keeps happening for the rest of the night, because if not, it's going to get ugly.
Ryan Bartell here just got totally surrounded by 4 people. And we're going to have a call, and it's going to be timeout on Gavin Chamberlain.
Yep.
So like we said here, Indian Hill's coming out sloppy. Gavin Chamberlain saying something he doesn't like, which is probably a 2-0 deficit right now that this Indian Hill team has to turn around. Bob, you're Gavin Chamberlain. What are you doing?
Man.
Besides macking on the ladies. Now, come on.
That's his style.
Yeah, all right.
Not during gameplay, though.
Well, you never know if it's a big score. Nonetheless, Bob.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is a hard one. I mean, this is why he's, the coach, and this is why he's doing what he's doing. I don't know what you do in this situation. The ball has spent a lot more time down in the Indian Hill defense than it has in the Upper Arlington defense. How you prevent that or how you change that, I don't know. I mean, that's why he's the coach, and that's why I'm up here.
That's a great point, Bob. I think the key right now is Indian Hill just has to spend more time in their zone, get more shots in the goal than Upper Arlington, and therefore they will get more goals and win this game. That's huge.
I mean, they need to play at a brisk or a quick pace.
Brisk.
But at the bad word there.
Sure, why not?
But anyway, they have to play at a quick pace, and but at the same time they have to play controlled. And if they're not going to be able to do that, then they're not going to be able to put too many balls in that goal.
And that's the problem I think we're seeing right now is they're playing just a little too sloppy, and that's basically because they're a little too juiced. As Indian Hill shot on goal, I believe that was by Cole Kuzin.
Yeah.
Flew over, and Will Vollmer picks it up for the Braves, and Indian Hill's going to start behind the goal.
Definitely, here comes.
So here's a big possession here for the Braves. They can either try to turn things around and get something going for the first time, or they can face an even bigger deficit at 2-0.
Well, Paul, we've seen all year these Braves have played a lot better as they start to get warm and as the second quarter starts to approach a little bit, and I think that's just falling into the patterns what we're going to see here again.
Sure. Well, right now Sean Chamberlain's just totally getting face guarded. He gets a pass off to Will Vollmer, who just can't handle it. A little bit too hot for him. And a note about Will Vollmer is he's got a sore butt of sorts. It seems like he fractured his butt bone.
His tailbone.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's still out there, and he's starting for the Braves, and that's just it's a heck of an effort by him, because if you've ever had a sore butt before, and gosh knows only Bob and I both have.
Yeah.
It's nothing you'd want to play lacrosse with, for that matter, and heck, you wouldn't even want to sit down in your seat and watch the basketball game.
Well, rumor around the Indian Hill High School today, I talked to a couple of the players, and they said that Will wasn't even necessarily expected to start tonight.
Right.
He was. It was a game time decision for him. He was questioning it. He didn't feel very good. He having trouble running, but he doesn't seem to be doing too bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, right now he hasn't had too many opportunities as the Braves attackman. With 2 minutes left in his first quarter, Indian Hill's opportunities on offense have been pretty much zilch at this point, as Uwa's been on the attack pretty much this entire first quarter, yet they only have 2 goals to show for it.
Yeah.
As that shot sails wide of the goal.
I think that was a pass.
Yeah, I think that they're going to call it a shot, though. Ross Beckstrom was closest to it, and it will be Indian Hill possession.
I don't know what that was.
That looked like he just whizzed a little bit too much on that, when the adrenaline's pumping, testosterone's behind the shot. The muscle fibers just twitch a little too much, and your release point gets off, and it's all history.
Fast twitch muscle fibers get you.
And that's just all adrenaline there, which is only going to release
testosterone,
extra energy.
Get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball.
Ross Beckstrom totally getting attacked here, and he's forced to throw a wild pass. And that's Gavin Chamberlain's just living right now after seeing that, because that's something that probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah. I'd like to see them get rid of the ball before they get a defender in their face.
Yeah, you and I both, Bob. It's just.
You can't make a good pass when the guy's all over you. I don't care. I understand that the defenders, they got that longer stick, so they think that they can make a little bit better pass maybe with that. But
hindsight's from this stadium is usually about 18-20, because the wattage. The light bulbs is right in our face, but nonetheless, it's still better than it is down on the field, so it's tougher for us to say.
Yeah. I'm not the coach, but
I'm not an eye doctor, so 18-20 is probably non-existent, but you get the point.
Right, yeah.
Right
Those
now,
of you out there who don't know, 20-20 would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, a shot on goal here and a flag. Looks like that goal is going to count for Upper Arlington. And with 40 seconds left in this first quarter, everything is going Upper Arlington's way. They have a 3-0 lead, and right now this Indian Hill team, all they can do is just look at each other and just kind of frown in confusing sorts. Bob?
I don't know. I mean, this Upper Arlington offense has not played, particularly well. I mean, would you agree? I mean, we've seen them throw away a couple passes, couple of bad shots, maybe not hustling as much, but I don't know. The Braves haven't been able to capitalize on that, just getting absolutely hounded by this, UA defense.
Sure.
And,
well, certainly we saw the Dublin Scioto team from this same vantage point. Indian Hill, although they played a better game against Dublin Scioto, that team looked a little bit more crisp earlier on, and it looks like this Upper Arlington still has plenty more arsenal that they're not showing this Indian Hill team, and this Indian Hill team deficit could be much more than 3. Nonetheless, Eddie Ferrugia for Indian Hill will try to get another possession going to try to swing this game around as the first quarter winds down and play, and Indian Hill's down 3-0. Sean Chamberlain with his first shot of the night, he just didn't get enough on that one, Bob.
No.
Forced it looks like.
Yeah, maybe. He had a defender right in his face. But it was
Danny Johnson hustles down and knocks the ball loose. Freshman phenom.
Freshman
Alice Cole
sensation.
has 8 seconds to pass it up. Sean Chamberlain. He's looking for a man to pass it to. He knows the clock's running down. He's got Eddie Ferrugia. 1 second. He needs to put off a shot. Eddie didn't realize it, or he just didn't have enough time. Nonetheless, at the end of first quarter of play, the Upper Arlington Golden Bears have marched into Tomahawk Stadium, and absolutely everything has gone their way, and they lead 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough first
I'm just
quarter.
as mind-boggled as you, Bob.
That's a tough first quarter. I mean, like you said, this Upper Arlington, has really come out. Everything's gone their way. The momentum's definitely on their side. I think it still might be nerves. I mean, this is a big Division I game for these Braves, and this Upper Arlington team has been doing this for countless years. I mean, so. It's a big step, and it's a big game, and the nerves. It's hard to tell, Paul.
Yeah, this is Upper Arlington's. They've done this in their sleep. I mean, they're play Division I. Being the top team in the state, it almost becomes habit to face these games, and there's a reason why you are the top team in the state. Mostly because of registered voters, but that's not the point.
Right.
This Indian Hill team, not to say they don't have the ability, but it's just an experience factor. This Indian Hill team, they have a strong senior leadership, but most of them are just juniors, and they also have a good amount of freshmen out there playing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nerves at this point are only to be a factor. But, we won't make any excuses for this Braves team.
I mean,
that's not what we're here for.
They wouldn't want us to. But, don't count this team out, ladies and gentlemen. This Braves team is a very, very solid team. They got a lot going on for them. They got a lot of impact players and a lot of, big-time players. This game's going to change. That was just, a rough first quarter, and this is going to be a better one as they've played better in the second quarter, the greater portion of this year.
Well, we'll see what the second quarter is the makings for as we start off with the face-off here. It's going to be Cole Kuzno for Indian Hill, and we got a mad dash for it here as it looks like Upper Arlington comes out with the first possession of the second quarter, and as I say the ball just sails high. Like I said, we've said this all along. UA's had their problems offensively and even defensively for that matter. When Indian Hill gets a chance, they just can't. They're about as out of sync as Indian Hill. It just looks like their defense is a little bit more crisper than Indian Hill's.
Yeah, I mean they're just not giving the Sean Chamberlain or Eddie Ferrugia any shots, and that's what's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see Matt McCall bringing the ball up here, but it looks like they're keeping.
It's going to be Ross Beckstrom. Yeah. He's dancing around there like he's in some kind of a 80s disco flick.
Right.
And he's getting harassed there, and he just throws it wild. And Gavin Chamberlain, he pumps his fist down, not in a celebratory fashion, but more in frustration. As there's another goal opportunity.
Big break.
Yeah, UA just missed another goal opportunity there, Bob.
That could have been 4. Maybe 4-0. That would not have been good. But
yeah, that's a boo-boo by them nonetheless.
Yeah.
We'll see what they can't do about that. Now there's a swinger on the goal, and it's stopped by Chris Stokely. Loose ball comes out to, it's still on the ground. There goes Ryan Bartell. He bites the dust. Or at this new brand spanking new turf, he bites the black balls. Which is something very tasteless, Bob. It's, it's somewhere between a tasteless caviar of sorts because it's a black ball and it doesn't have much of a taste to it. Maybe you could add your usual salt and vinegar, but even then
it's still not good.
That'd be more sour than.
Yeah, and even when you throw a little bit of sweat and blood on there, it still doesn't taste very good.
Well, it's got more nutrients, though. You can hydrate yourself.
Exactly.
Electrolytes and whatnot. A shot on goal. There it is. Chris Stokely got burned there by number 18 for this Upper Arlington team. Excellent effort there. We don't even have him listed on our roster here, Bob.
When we really got him here, they picked him up on 71 as they were coming down.
I'm not sure. The free agent, they picked that from overseas, and we're not sure. But right now, this Indian Hill, these stands they're about as quiet as a nursing home is after applesauce serving hours.
Right.
And everybody's quieted down. These fans aren't talking as much smack, even though
the Brave student section has definitely sat down, or at least a portion of them have.
it's a late arriving crowd at best.
Yeah.
In honor of Will Vollmer, they're resting their behinds, I guess. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, Indian Hill bodies are still flying around. Oh, that was
wow.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, wow.
Bodies are flying around. Indian Hill's not playing very smart right now as Sean Chamberlain just tried to spin it. Now, here we go. Bodies are flying around left and right. Where's Mike Dorn when you need him? Oh,
Yeah.
There we go. Scott Maurer tries a loose scramble for the ball here. And finally, number 6 of Upper Arlington, defenseman, who also wasn't listed. Oh, here he is. He's a midfielder. McCurdy, their long stick midfielder, sets it up. But that's passed by Alex Cole, and it just flies way over the head.
For it.
Bob, what are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing a great game.
Oh, that's got to be illegal. Oh, and a Bronx cheer comes from the crowd as Indian Hill's Will Vollmer tried to spin loose from a guy, and he got a stick in his face.
Yeah.
And good thing it wasn't in another place due to his injury. And he,
First
he
excitement
really
we've seen tonight from a lot of these Indian Hill fans.
Yeah.
Haven't had a whole lot to cheer for, but maybe a definite swing the other way for them. I don't know. You asked me what I was seeing. Just struggling to get the ball in. I mean, they just can't get the ball inside to get off, their shots. I mean, they're almost having to force it, in a way. Not necessarily, I'm saying forcing in that they're having to make bad decisions, but that's their only option.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now their only option is to try to make an answer to this 4-0 deficit. That's a score.
There's Matt McCall!
All right, there we go. Matt McCall scores a goal for the Indian Hill team, and that gets this Indian Hill team, Indian Hill fans back up on their feet. And Bob, like we said earlier on, this Matt McCall is probably the most solid guy on the team.
Yeah.
He wears the number 1 on his jersey, not only because it's a perfect square, which of course it isn't, but because he's the number 1 guy on this team. Bob.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't wear number 1 for nothing, and he's number 1. He plays like it. We said that we were going to see big things from him tonight. That's just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg.
Here comes number 10, Cole Cousineau, which is divisible by 2.
Right.
And he comes down and passes to Danny Johnson. I believe. No, it's Eddie Frugia. There we go. Eddie Frugia swings around. Indian Hill's momentum is definitely towards them.
I mean, that was a great job, Matt getting open. That was exactly that inside shot we were talking about.
And the key there was the quick release. He caught it and just put it in. Didn't even wind back. He just flicked his wrist.
Well, he's a quick kid. And he's got good wrist skills and whatnot.
Nonetheless, this Indian Hill team's being a little bit more stationary.
Yeah, see, they got to get moving. They got to, be breaking. They got to try and make something happen. They got to work for it.
Attack this Upper Arlington defense. What we've seen from Dublin State, how they're different is they're not as big. They're just faster than seemingly than Upper Arlington. So they need to take advantage of their speed and just try to bull rush in there. Bob, you hear something?
Yeah, I do hear that.
It seems like some type of chant of some sort.
Yeah.
That's a pounding.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's getting even louder now.
Yeah. We've heard that.
Oh, shot by Will Vollmer just shoots wide right, and that's going to go out to Upper Arlington, and that's just disastrous for the Indian Hill team as they ruin their possession. Nonetheless, you can tell they got a little bit fire back in their step after that.
Yeah. I mean, you heard that chant getting going again. That gets started several times a game by these Indian Hill fans, and it's good to hear them getting back into it and know they haven't fallen asleep on us.
Upper Arlington now trying to answer this Indian Hill team, which if they play as smooth and easy as they had they used to, that's definitely a possibility. Indian Hill's defense playing tighter now. Looks like they're playing easier man-to-man ball. Oh, it looks like Alex Cole got beat there, but Ross Bexmuir comes over to help out. A lot of guys slipping here. We've had a lot of rain, even though this field can handle up to 12 inches of rain an hour.
6 inches, Paul.
It's 12, Bob. I checked on that actually.
I mean, that's a lot of rain to handle. I don't know why these guys are slipping like that. I don't know if they change their shoes or what they've done, but
it's the socks, Bob.
Yeah, it could be the socks. Oh, come on.
Here we go. We got the Aflac duck here, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Nonetheless, we got Alex Cole passes it up. It's going to be Mike Dorn. He pushes it up the field. He's looking for a man to pass it off to. We can't find anybody. He passes it down to his attack man, Cole Cousineau, who looks for a man but can't find anybody. That's actually Eddie Ferrugia here. He's got a cut man coming in. He can't find him. He's getting totally wrapped. He shoots.
Wow!
He scores! And he's pumped up. Eddie Ferrugia fought off his man, and he put that goal right in the back of the net. And just like that, with 6:46 left, and this first half of play, Indian Hill has cut this deficit down to 2 on strengths by goals by Eddie Ferrugia and also by Memakoa. Bobby, what exactly has gone on the past 4 minutes?
What a shot that was.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that's a shot that we've seen Eddie Ferrugia make several times this year. Just great. I mean, great playing, great job, great everything, perfect execution. And like we said, this second quarter is when these Braves really shine.
Yeah.
And, they're doing it right now with 2 quick goals and 6:40 to go in this half.
And the key there, it looks like Upper Arlington was down a man. They weren't actually down a man, but it looks like their defense didn't get back in time. So Eddie Ferrugia just went one-on-one and beat his guy, and nobody could come over to help.
I think this could maybe be, maybe that UA size, maybe a little bit, maybe just a little,
Yes.
Maybe because they're a little bit bigger, maybe get fatigued a little quicker.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice hit by Ross Beckstrom.
Oh, here's a shot. Oh, and it just goes off the top of the stick of Chris Stokely and just dribbles right in a shot that is tough for Chris Stokely to give up. And he just slashes the stick of Mike Dorn. Looks like this Indian Hill team's self-destructing from the nucleus of sorts here, and I don't really know what that was about. Maybe if we could get our goalie mic on down there, guys. Can we get our goalie mic on? See if we can't get a soundbite of just what happened there.
Yeah.
Or at least our stat guy on the sidelines. Nonetheless, that takes us lead back up to 5-2 on a goal that is tough to swallow for this Indian Hill team. It's going to be David Kariakis taking the face-off now.
Well, like that UA team picked up that goal.
Clutch save there by Chris Stokely. That would have been just a detrimental goal. But, he just put that one out there for grabs, and he couldn't get back in the goal.
I don't think that UA player saw that. I couldn't tell what number that was.
Yeah, he couldn't tell, it looked like. But nonetheless, Indian Hill teams, their defense is struggling tonight, as evidenced by the 5 goals they've given up in about 17 minutes of play. And, that's probably one of their weaker links of this team. Not to point fingers, but it's this defense, just isn't as experienced. Sure, they've got senior Ross Bestermere, but they also have sophomore Alex Cole and junior Ryan Bartel.
I mean, that's not to say, oh, come on.
There's a flag there. That's going to be called on Mike Dorn, much to the dismay of this Indian Hill crowd who's standing.
I don't agree with that.
They're standing up not to do the wave, but only to protest in this call. Bob, what did you see there?
I don't know. I saw, a good attempt or,
aggressive play.
Aggressive play on Mike Dorn's part to try and get the ball, and they're going to call him for it. But back to what you were saying on, their defense. Like you said, they're not necessarily the weakest in the sense that they're not they're not talented, that they don't have the ability to play the position. It's just that they're not used to playing it, and I don't think they've really gelled together maybe quite yet. Like you said, it's Ryan Bartel and Alex Cole's
first year playing defense.
Yeah, first year. Well, being at this level.
Sure.
They were JV last year, and not the JV team playing great. They didn't have so much success earlier tonight, but the game moves at a different speed. It's a lot quicker up here, and you got to be ready for it.
Looks like some type of stall offense here with 4:40 left in the first half by Upper Arlington. I think this Indian Hill defense is looking to spread out further. A cut man. Nice defense there by Ryan Bartel. But that's going to bring
what's that for?
That's going to bring out even more laundry, as we've got more yellow tissue flying around here than a Hong Kong airport due to the recent breakout in SARS. The snot thing, Bob. Did you catch that one?
Yeah.
I just winged that one. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably a little bit too much. I'm looking at the baseline here with the offense.
We'll hear it later.
Yeah. I can't help but notice a guy with a camcorder on the baseline here. Uwal calls a timeout here to try to set up a scoring opportunity. But can't help but notice a guy with a camcorder down there. Why? I'm not sure. If he's within the ICRC, Inter-Community Regulatory Commission viewing area, I'm not sure why he'd want to tape this. But nonetheless, maybe he's just getting some B-roll footage just to add into our show.
He could be an UA fan.
It may be, but even then, the tape's always for purchase.
Right.
And nonetheless, we got a minor break in the action. This is just a reminder. that this game, which you are viewing right now on the ICRC Inter-Community Cable Regulatory Commission, is a copyright broadcast of IHTN, the most comprehensive student-run television network in the country. The Indian Hill Television Network. That's not Indian Hills. That's Indian Hill. If it was plural, we'd have more than one Hills. But, of course, as everybody knows here, we only have one, and that is Mount Indian Hill over to the side. Bob, yeah, just looking out at Mount Indian Hill tonight, this just tells you everything that Cincinnati or Indian Hill lacrosse has become, you know.
Yeah, what a beaut she is.
Shining down on the field, the brand spanking new, and a packed house seemingly here.
Yeah,
only a few empty bleachers around.
I don't see many empty seats.
I don't either, just from my vantage point, but naturally we're cut off here.
I mean, we got a pretty good view of the stadium.
The confines.
There's a lot of people down there standing along the fence for the Braves tonight, struggling to find somewhere to sit.
Well, gee willikers, Bob. There's another camcorder guy just due east, and they got 2 tripods. Okay, something's up then.
Something's up with this UA
Like
squad.
we've mentioned, this is a copyrighted broadcast. So if they want to play that,
I think they're trying to compete.
Well, I mean, they can try all they want, but they're dancing with the most comprehensive student-run television network in the country. So,
and the 2 best announcers.
Well, it's. We were signing autographs before the game, so it seems a little cocky.
Yeah,
by all means.
My hand's a little sore.
Sure. Well, we weren't signing autographs too long, Bob, so I don't know what that's all about. Nonetheless, this Indian Hill team is trying to play defense, trying for one more stop here. As a shot on goal, wide as Chris Stokely here. And that was a big break for Indian Hill. As once again, Upper Arlington is just taking shot after shot after shot, and Chris Stokely is being depended on to shut things down. Upper Arlington passes it around behind the goal, trying to get this offense going that seemingly is, although with 5 goals, here's a shot. Chris Stokely, I don't even think he even saw him, but he nonetheless falls on the ball and gives the possession to Indian Hill. Here Indian Hill just has to make nice outlets. That would be pretty risky right there as they play 5,000. Eddie does recover it though. He's got, there was a wild shot by Sean Chamberlain. That was he's had trouble finding shots all night, and he's upset with himself there because I believe he had an open man. But if he would have made that would have been pretty sweet because that's a kind of shot that the highlight rolls dig and the chicks dig too because it's spin around action.
Chicks dig the trick shot.
Yeah, and the long ball too. That's just another thing.
But this is lacrosse, not baseball.
It's the Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, there's another pass.
There we go.
Wide. This Indian Hill
laundry.
Yeah, Indian laundry. Nice
see it
sight,
up top.
Bob. What are they calling here? Offsides?
Something.
Offsides.
He's flapping his arms.
Definitely flap. He's doing the Angels thing here. We got an angel out here.
Hopefully it's working on the
They
side
don't
of the
do
bridge.
playoffs, though, Bob. You know that the Angels don't do playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs have to be one on their own.
Yeah, that's a rule. That's directly from Al himself.
Yep.
Well, we got 3:20 left in the first half of play. Upper Arlington 5, Indian Hill 2.
Not to be confused with Upper Tankers.
Or them either. Yeah, that's something we'd want to separate here. But right now, Indian Hill's going to be a man down after Danny Johnson goes out, I believe. And they're just trying to stop this Upper Arlington offense, which sooner or later is just going to get another goal in here if they keep getting these opportunities. Indian Hill's defense swarming here. A wrap around the goal, and that's going to go wide. Indian Hill is trying to recover it, but Upper Arlington is going to come up with it again. They're picking up all the loose balls in this first half, Bob. Yep.
Well, when there's a loose ball, it just seems that it's coincidentally, right near an Upper Arlington player.
Here comes Cole Cousineau back as Indian Hill goes full strength. Indian Hill pushes it on defense, and right now it's just stall mode for Upper Arlington as they're trying to get as many offensive opportunities as they can with this Indian Hill team not getting any on their parts. They're going to try to stall as much as possible.
Well, I think they're trying to stall, but at the same time they're also looking to advance and trying to score. But I just, they're not rushing anything, which is smart. You're up 3 points. Your defense is playing well. You don't need to score, at least not right away. So, I like this selection of this tactic chosen by this Upper Arlington squad.
Well, right now it's 2 minutes left in this first half. Looks like number 31, Bernard, the midi for Upper Arlington, was just getting totally harassed there. And he did a nice job just to maintain possession. Nonetheless, there's a cut man here. Chris Stokely can't pick him up, and there's another goal. And like we said, they've gotten 7 or 8 chances in one series to get in that goal, and it was only a matter of time before they got a goal. And Indian Hill's defense right now is just completely suffering, and they need to put the kibosh to that or sacrifice this win.
Chris Stokely was hung out to dry on that one. I couldn't quite tell what had happened. But you know that guy, that Upper Arlington player there, he just had him right up. It was bad news from the get-go.
Yeah. Well, right now it's Indian Hill's now got a 4-goal deficit again, as they've given up 6 goals. That's got to be a high for the first half this year, Bob. We'd hate to speculate, but we're quite good at it, so we might as well.
Right. You know, and we normally see this Braves team play really well in the second quarter, as we were talking earlier, and they came out firing, but they've certainly dropped off a little bit.
Nonetheless, this Indian Hill team, you know, if they get a goal opportunity here, they could totally turn things around going into the half. But momentum is once again on the side of this Upper Arlington team. Eddie Ferrugia trying to make something happen. He puts a pass down to Sean Chamberlain, who cuts into Will Vollmer, who just can't handle it. Whether or not that tailbone had a factor there is undecided, as the goalie for Upper Arlington, Shively, came out and tried to pick that one up himself.
It's going to be Braves ball.
It's going to be Braves ball. Why not? I'm not sure. 1:07 left in this first half of play. Indian Hill's got to try to get a possession here. A goal in this possession. Bob, what do you do here? You run a cut man, or you go ISO, or what's your deal?
Yeah, that's up to Coach Gavin.
Yeah.
But I try and get a man going through the middle, because that's where the Braves have scored, or had the most success and gotten the best shots off.
But Dave Kiriakis just went ISO there, and it didn't pay off for this Braves team. Right now, it looks like they just got to play defense right now.
Yeah, I definitely think that movement and cuts on this UA team is going to be your best bet.
Well, right now with 42 seconds left in this first half, UA with possession. They're going to call a timeout so they can try to set up some type of offensive play to put a dagger in this Indian Hill heart after being down as much as 4-0 in this first half. Indian Hill came back to 4-2, but now it's 6-2. So this Upper Arlington team, they could turn on the Jets easily here and call the night on this Indian Hill team. But we still have plenty of time left. This Indian Hill team just needs to step up their play, Bob.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They need to do something here, and I don't know that you can, point out one thing that's not firing for them. Just all in all, just having trouble, putting the ball in the goal, playing D. But they're going to come around. I really feel good about halftime. Maybe they need to get in there and fix the problems and recognize the problems that they got going on and spend more than just a timeout on it.
Well, Bob, we got to break into the action here. I was talking to some of these Indian Hill guys, and their post-game meal today was flank steak.
Wow.
And, that sounds, delicious and all that, but whether or not that's playing a factor is debatable. But flank steak, I
that can sit a little heavy in your belly.
Sure, and I mean, it's flank steak by all means, which usually has around, 4 to 5 grams of fat per ounce, as you and I both know.
Right.
But I mean, that's still going to weigh you down. And I don't know why you'd go protein, as that's only going to dehydrate you. And if anything, I go whole grains, pasta, wheat bread, rye if need be. A lot of water.
It's humid out there tonight.
We got a hot, humid night. This is our first humid night, and the wattage is beaming down on us. I'm probably getting a nice golden tan here, but it's still getting pretty hot.
I mean, you don't need the sun with bulbs like this.
No. Mount Indian Hill usually blocks out all the UV rays.
Right.
At least the harmful ones.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a beautiful stadium. You got Mount Indian Hill at the north end, and woods surrounding the south end, and much of the stadium.
Sure.
So keeps the noise in pretty well for the neighbors.
Shot on goal. Upper Arlington scores another goal as Matt McCall gets beat around the edge, and right now Upper Arlington scores a goal with 7 seconds left in the first half, and right now it looks like Indian Hill is just getting outbeat, outplayed, outwitted, and right now it looks like it's halftime can't come any sooner for this Indian Hill team, Bob.
Is that number 28 Loveland there? I think it might have been.
He's a righty with wheels, all right.
Yeah.
He shot high in the goal and beat Chris Stokely.
Yeah, I mean, the scouting report on him says that he's looking to keep to his right and then shoot high, and he may kind of look like he did just that.
Well, at the end of the first half of play, it's been all Upper Arlington, as though both teams have played very sloppy throughout. Upper Arlington will go into half, up 7-2. We'll be back in the second half of play here. Paul Nyhart and Bobby Schmidt. We'll see you in the second half, folks.
Oh, we got mesh.
And we're back here
we are.
live with second half action. Bobby Schmidt alongside Paul Neihart here. We got an interesting second half forecasted here as Indian Hill came out a little flat in the first half, got down early 4-0, and now they got a 5-0 deficit, or a 5-goal deficit here as it's now 7-2 Upper Arlington, and Indian Hill's got to come out storming here and just send a message to them early on before this game fades away, Bob.
Yeah, they need to come out firing. They got to get this under control. Not a pretty second half, as the score dictates, 7-2 in your first half score, and these Braves better come out firing. And I hope Coach Gavin Chamberlain had something to say to them during halftime. 2
beautiful saves here by Chris Stokely, and he just needs to make a nice outlet pass here, which he just can't seem to do, and he's rushing a little bit too much. Chris Stokely, a very fiery player for this Indian Hill team. He wears on his cheeks, he dons the mathematical symbol pi, which is symbolic of the crease in which he calls his habitat, if you will. And, it's a circle of sorts, a round object, if you will. Not a sphere, a circle. So I guess the diameter and the radius play a factor in that pi. Nonetheless, we won't speculate.
Right.
It's going to be Indian Hill here on offense, trying to get something going here, something they just could not do in the second half, or the first half.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to be able to get something going on this tough Upper Arlington defense, who has been just absolutely smothering, aside for the 2 goals at the end. Well, there you go.
Shot by Adam Tauber. He whizzed that one right in there, right by the ear of the goalie Shively for Upper Arlington. And just like that, Indian Hill has got this crowd a little bit fired up after a slow halftime. And they're going to try to get back into this game. But to reiterate your point, Bob, this Upper Arlington team did exactly play like their namesake said, the Golden Bears.
Yeah.
Not in the form of an 85-year-old man with a shrivelly countenance,
right.
But tough, fiery.
Playing in the Masters.
The king of the woods, right? He did make the cut, I believe. But
yeah.
They got women there yet, or what? Yeah, check back with you later.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, this Indian Hill defense has to pick up and carry over from the Indian Hill offense that hasn't played half bad, considering the opportunities or lack thereof they've had this evening.
Yeah, the Braves seem to be moving a lot better. It seems like they have a little more pep in their step so far.
It's probably that power gel they were pumping down.
Yeah.
All legal substances, just caffeine.
Yeah, all legal.
B vitamins, I'm sure.
Not giving them steroids during halftime or anything.
Anabolic material.
Right.
Nonetheless, here we got a heck of a melee over here as this Indian Hill defense is swarming on these offenders for Upper Arlington, but UA escapes without harm eventually.
Yeah. UA's a tough squad, and they're not easy to get the ball from them.
No.
As it's dictated.
Well, right now this Upper Arlington team's trying to get something going here. They've been stationary, it seems like, here on offense, and during the second half they played absolutely beautifully as they killed a lot of clock, and then they put the ball in the goal for the dagger seemingly.
Yeah.
Indian Hill popped out in the first half, and here's a shot that pass of some sort there. It looks like they just whizzed right at the Indian Hill defense, and still the ground ball picked up by Upper Arlington, which seemingly has been all over the place tonight, doing their best impression of Vishnu.
I'd like to see the ball spend a little bit less time on in the Braves defense, and maybe spend a little more time down there in the UA defense.
Here comes a drive here by Upper Arlington. A dish off to the attackman. Shot, and it's right through the wickets of Chris Stokely. He just couldn't pick up that shot, it looks like, seemingly. Chris Stokely told me when we were having lunch on Wednesday, he was enjoying a turkey sandwich and a PB&J, that the lights here at this stadium and the new turf, seemingly when it gets later on in the evening and the moisture in the air, as it is very humid out, the moisture forms above, it gets kind of foggy, and it's tougher to pick up the
ground balls,
just the shots themselves. And that has to be two-sided, a double-edged sword of sorts, and that the UA goalie has to be faced with the same debacle.
Well, in Columbus, they got some smog to deal with also, so he's probably getting good practice.
Sure, it's more of a blue-collar town.
Right.
At least that's what they tell me.
Yeah, I've never been there.
You know what I do see a lot more in Columbus these days are Ohio State fans. It's just like they came out of the woodwork. It's just the oddest thing. I don't know what that's about, or
some sort of championship.
It's a debated thing. We hate to speculate. Nonetheless, just Upper Arlington teams, their offense is just running like clockwork now. They're getting tons of shots opportunities here. And right now on offense, they still keep pressing it forward. And here's a shot. Oh yeah, looks like Mike Dorn. He still can't pick it up. Indian Hill cannot pick up these loose balls. And right now he's trying to wedge himself in there like a There,
A wedge.
Yeah. Well, not a wedge of sorts. We'll use that as a Jack Nicklaus symbolic thing
right.
later on.
Yeah, not to be confused with the golf club that the Golden Bear uses himself.
That's a heck of a piece of equipment there. It's the driver. He's got his own sets of irons. The Golden Bear set. Bear clubs. Alex Cole passes it wide, almost all the way across the field to Cole Cousineau, who tries to push it up and try to give Indian Hill another rare offensive opportunity. As already about 5 minutes have ticked away here in this second half, and Upper Arlington still has a 5-goal lead. And there goes Cole Cousineau.
Absolutely mugged.
Yeah, I was curious that there was no laundry there. And Bob, I hate to recollect the past, but we haven't seen too much laundry thrown on Indian Hill's sake tonight. But as we speak, there's yellow cloth in the direction towards Indian Hill, and I don't think I've ever seen a flag thrown that high or that enthusiastically before.
He was really happy to throw that flag.
Either he was looking to pick off an albatross, or I'm not sure. They're a rare endangered species, so if he does get one, we could fine him for a hefty fine. And I'd hope we'd get a portion of that for reporting it, Bob. And nonetheless.
I haven't seen an albatross lately up here in these parts.
That's because they're endangered, Bob.
Right. Saw a bald eagle earlier. But anyway.
Resting on top of Mount Indian Hill, I assume.
Yeah. Sitting up top on a cliff on Mount Indian Hill.
Oh, great save by Chris Stokely as he's come to the rescue. It'd be a 14-0 game right now if it wasn't for Chris Stokely. As he stopped, our stat guys have to get on this, but I'd guess that 72% of the shots here have stopped by Chris Stokely.
Yeah, well, just think if there was no goalie, it'd be a lot higher.
Well, we could speculate, but I mean, no flag there, no flag. And that's a surprising call, and actually a really bad one, if you ask me, as right now these fans are getting perturbed, and I'm just getting a little bit more discombobulated as I don't see what exactly a penalty is. And I'm a rookie at this game right now. I love it. I really do. It's a sport founded by the Native Americans, and I'm a gambling guy too. So whether or not they're conjunction, I'm not sure. But it's a game that's it's tough to pick up in terms of penalties. But I can't really see what there's no flags about.
I don't think the Native Americans played with penalties. I think that was something added later, and that's not good.
There's another shot that just whizzed right by Chris Stokely. It must have been screened or some sort. And right now, this Indian Hill team's on the verge of witnessing a scientific butt whooping here if they can't pick up their play. And right now, I'm not sure if he just got screened by a couple of guys or whether or not there was just way too much on that shot. But it was a tough call. Tough call.
Yeah, right now they are facing a good old-fashioned butt whooping. And Braves got to do something here.
And the Braves are calling for the feet pounding, Bob. I'm not sure if that's what the answer is, but if they could hear us at home, which of course they can't, maybe in a month they will.
Well, you folks at home, get your feet stomping for us, will you?
And here's a new face for this Braves team, number 33. I don't even know who that is, Bob.
Christian Schaefer,
Christian Schaefer, as he comes in to do the face-off, and he's running off faster than a gazelle.
Yep.
And then there he goes.
Nice wheels on his part. Good hustle
fresh
to get
legs,
off the field, That's what those fresh legs will do for you.
Here's a question, Bob. A lot of these lacrosse guys wear shorts and stuff. In swimming, to speed up, they shave their legs and stuff. Do you think that had any speed in the game of lacrosse, or whether or not that'd be any bit of an advantage? Not aesthetically, just in terms of speed.
I don't know that you have really the body hair is really a restricting factor. You got the water working against you in a sport like swimming. I don't know. I guess it'd be worth an experiment. Maybe get one of these guys to try it out.
We've got laundry for one of the rare times tonight as Sean Chamberlain takes a shot. It goes off the pole and just over the wickets of Adam Tavra, who couldn't put the putback in.
That's been that story, hasn't it? Freshman sensation Danny Johnson returning to play.
Freshman phenom Danny Johnson back into play, who's seen his playing time not as high as it usually is. I don't know if that's just a poor week in practice or just, exams are coming up and maybe he's got his mind elsewhere.
Yeah.
Plus there's
it's possible.
Nonetheless, Indian Hill looks like they're switching up their offense here. They're going 3-3 here. It's top three, Sean Chamberlain, Cole Cousineau, and Eddie Ferrugia is going to handle the bottom duties. Indian Hill's just got to pick up some type of momentum.
Cut and couldn't come up with it.
He can't make that cut, and right now we got lots of pushing, we got lots of shoving, and it looks somewhat like a.
Now what?
Looks like he's doing.
Well, it's going to be a Braves ball.
Yeah, that's going to be. I'm not sure what that call was, but it looks like
not a clue.
Just grabbed his wrist, and that was that.
Chris Stokely cannons the ball down to his teammates.
Yeah.
And Matt McCall will start things off for the Braves.
Yeah, we predicted earlier on in the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, this Indian Hill team would have to pick up their style of play because this Upper Arlington team's only going to play better.
There's Matt McCall!
We saw that.
Woo!
We saw that exact play earlier on where Matt McCall scored Indian Hill's first goal. And you know what, Bob? There's only one thing you can say about a goal like that.
Wow.
And that's just that was just huge right there by Matt McCall. He picked that up and a good release. And maybe that's just a spark plug this Indian Hill team has. Is, you know, there's over just a hair under 17 minutes left of lacrosse in beautiful Tomahawk Stadium. And, you know, a goal here and a goal there, and you could just have one of those things. So, I mean, you could just right now this Indian Hill team, if they can just get some more momentum on their side, just wear down this Upper Arlington defense. You know, right now they just got to start on the defensive side, I guess, is the case.
Well, you know, we talked about Matt McCall earlier and what a factor he is and what a great all-around player he has been. And he has 2 of the 4 Braves goals. And, he's playing solid once again. You're really bringing everything. He's done a great job bringing the ball up the field for the Braves and also on the offensive end putting a few in.
Sure.
I mean, Matt's not normally, he scores, but, he's not normally, they don't normally count on him for goals, but he seems to be their offense tonight.
Well, there's another shot that sizzles wide past the cameraman, mystery cameraman of maybe a competing network. We're not sure.
We had some unaccounted cameramen out there.
Without credentials too. So.
Yeah, they did not have their media passes, which requires, that is a requirement to get on the field here at Tomahawk Stadium.
With spectators charging onto the fields lately at athletic amusements across the nation, we have beefed up security here at Tomahawk Stadium. So, how those guys are going on the field, that's just a bit of a breach. Yeah, so we'll have to get either our stat guys on that or maybe not. We'll have to see about that. All right,
Scott
so
with the ball.
Indian Hill's going to try to make an offensive push here. They're down 9-4 here. Still plenty of ball game left. 3:35 left here in the third quarter of play, and right now they just need to start chipping away. Get out their sandwich of sorts. Not a Golden Bear sandwich, but a ping, a tailor-made, and just start chipping away here. Oh, and that sizzles wide of on top. That's been the story all night, hasn't it, Bob?
Good hustle. Yeah. Oh, come on!
And they're going to throw laundry there finally. My heart just stopped, I think.
You got to be kidding.
As Bobby just lunged forward, and the call's going to be the stick actually went against Matt McCaw's face, and I don't think they called a slash there. I think they just called a Bob, do you see what happened there? Or what?
I'm sorry to scare you there, Paul. Upper Arlington player trying to play defense had his stick actually on Matt McCall's throat, and I can't sit back and watch that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Well, you just hate to see that, because that's how injuries happen.
Right.
And, we try to not be so angry, but sometimes it just happens.
I look at that and all the only thing that I can think, you haven't seen anything like that all game. As soon as, Matt's starting to get hot, he's starting to, be a factor.
Sure, I understand.
And they go and pull something like that, and I can't sit there and watch it, and
it's
I can't
agree with that.
It's like
a brushback pitch.
Exactly.
And right now, Indian Hill needs an answer, and that'd be either a form of a goal or that could rest in the fist of Mike Dorn. Nonetheless. It's going to be a push, and Indian Hill's going to get possession, okay?
Yep.
So here comes Sean Chamberlain back behind the goal, and he's getting pumped up. But, with Ua being a man down here, Indian Hill's got to push forward and really be aggressive here on offense, something they really have had an opportunity tonight. And it looks like that's going to go in the hands of Sean Chamberlain, but he just can't wrap it in. And right now, Sean Chamberlain's not having one of his finer games, Bob.
No, he's not. Maybe he's trying to make a little bit too much happen. There's a lot of pressure on him being, the senior and being the captain in a game of this magnitude. He hasn't really had anything, too much to comment as far as the supporting cast goes, other than Matt McCall.
Yeah, he's been the franchise player for the Braves this evening, and right now Indian Hill needs not worry about a franchise player or a star to break out. They just need a guy that can come and play some team ball, and really they just need their defenders to really step up their game, which has been lacking throughout. Well, here we go. Shot. Ua.
No.
Back.
Come on.
That's just the defining story. As I was blocked by Chris Stokely, it went up in the air, and that flucker just floated up there like it was just had wings of sort, and it just flew right in the goal. And just like that, Indian Hill's dreams of a comeback may have also just flown away, Bob.
That's just been the story all night. I mean, he makes a stop. How many times have we seen that happen this year? None.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just, he makes a stop, ball just pops up over his head and into the goal. I mean, things are just really falling for this Upper Arlington team, and I don't know. It's almost like the forces out there just aren't, working for the Braves tonight.
We hate to write them off so soon, but it just seems like after a goal like that, Indian Hills, what they're doing right now is they're playing a lot feistier, it seems like, and that can only be honored as right now bodies are flying left and right here like it's a prison breakout here. Nonetheless here, ball's down. Indian Hill still can't pick it up. It's going to the hands of Christian Schaefer, and it's going to be David Kiriakis pushing it up for Indian Hill. He gets it, Eddie Ferrugia. Eddie Ferrugia has to pass it up here. Indian Hill needs some sort of answer.
Come on. See there.
Indian Hill just can't pick up the ball, yeah.
Eddie Ferrugia going after it. Will Vollmer trying to make something happen over to Chamberlain, and Scott Maurer could not handle the pass, and that's going to be a UA ball.
It's a little too hot to handle, it looked like there, Bob. I'm not sure what that was all about, but it was just a little bit too much mustard on the hot dog, I think, and that's tough.
Flank steak got him.
Yeah, the flank steak, whether you could probably point fingers on that, I'm not sure, but it's tough to say. It really is. And it's tough.
Yeah.
Just like that, Indian Hill's dreams of a comeback may have also been thrown away.
Well, things aren't looking good here. 45 seconds to go in this third quarter.
All right, well, looks like Uwa is going to try to push it up here and nail this coffin shot as Indian Hill just can't seem to have an answer here. We're not through the third quarter, but you just get that feeling. You just get that feeling that something bad's about to happen,
Yeah, I don't know if that's the feeling of defeat or if that's the humidity kicking in, but something doesn't feel right.
Yeah. There's another shot that sails wide right. That's a tough break for Uwa, but those shots have been there all night seemingly. And we'll get our stat guys checking on this, but that has to be their 40th shot of some sort,
They fired a lot off tonight at Chris Stokely, and it's amazing that he's only let in 10. Doesn't sound great, but for the amount of shots that have been fired on him, that's not that bad.
Yeah, especially since this Uwa offense is nothing to complain about. Nonetheless, like that, as the horn sounds, this Indian Hill team is faced with much difficulty here. As at Tomahawk Stadium, at the end of three quarters, Indian Hill faces themselves with a 10-4 deficit. Bob, we're coming down the home stretch here in the final quarter of play. What exactly did you say about this right now, Bob?
It's not going to be easy. 12 minutes to go. That's 6 goals. For those of you who aren't, don't know a whole lot, 6 goals is an awful lot in one quarter. I mean, we've seen these Braves do it before, but against a team like this, that's the big factor. A team like Uwa.
The Golden Bears of all teams.
Yeah. Odds aren't on the Braves side, but, I'm not going to write them off.
It's like this game, you can score a lot of goals, but by no means is this arena football.
Right.
Against an Uwa defense that seemingly has shut down this Braves offense all night, and won't even give them a shot. It just seems like it's tough.
Well, you remember that state championship game last year. They were down by more than this, and they were able to come back and actually win that title. And as they talked about at halftime, a couple of those people who were a member of that state championship team have returned from their freshman years of college. We got a couple of people in stands. I see
making cameo appearances.
Jamison Muth, Brady Ward here.
Donning the Mohawk.
Yeah. He's sporting the Mohawk, among others. And we welcome them back after their freshman year of college. But, I don't know.
Well, we're running down personal notes. We'd just like to give a warm welcome out to IHTN cameraman. Maybe he can stick his face in front of the camera and give a wave. Farmer, our cameraman, had a bit of a debacle this week. He had a bit of some legal trouble, and we'll leave it at that. We're glad to have him along the side. We almost we lost Clark. He's taken a couple of days off, and we're training guys. And Farmer had a bit of a problem with his magic cards. Nonetheless, we'll start off the fourth quarter here with Indian Hill faced with a 10-4 deficit and an excellent point by Bobby. In their state championship game, they came out, really, really flat against who would they play again? That was Western Reserve in the Division II game, and they still stormed back and took that game, obviously, in a lead in overtime.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, here, Will Vollmer, I believe, fires a shot, and it just bounces short. Loose ball here. Indian Hill cannot pick it up, and that has just been the story all night, Bob.
Yeah, it really has been. The balls just don't seem to bounce for the Braves. Just rolling away from them. Rolling over them.
And as Mr. Dubs, our coordinating producer at H team would say, add bounce to your life, play handball.
Yeah. Dominating handball player in Mr. Dubs.
Well, right now it's still a 10-4 lead here for UA as they're going into four-corner stall mode, or not.
Yeah.
They shoot wild of the goal, and that possession is going to go
to the Braves.
To the Braves, it looks like. He's doing the Macarena out there,
Yeah.
so I really can't tell what neverminds he's doing.
Ill-advised shot there by UA.
We say UA, ladies and gentlemen. We don't name specific players because during introductions, they prefer to be announced as a team, instead of individuals, which we found very noble. But it's
so we have elected not to mention names when possible.
We don't name names, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Here's Mike Doran guarding the UA offensive man. Mike Doran's had to step up and play a big game, and this Indian Hill defense, they've obviously given 110% as they definitely have always do, but right now they're lacking, and consistency and obviously the 10-4 score is reflective of that, Bob.
Yeah, the Braves have struggled, that's for sure. Oh, right off the helmet.
Yeah, look at that.
Talk about using all your body parts.
Yeah, that's something that Bob you're familiar with, but nonetheless, that one went right off the noggin. And here's a loose ball that Sean Chamberlain just can't pick up. And that's tough. And he's being harassed.
Oh, and he
out
saved
there. He's
it.
getting beat like a redheaded stepchild, it looks like. So that's a tough break. Here's a loose ball, flies way over the head. And like we said, here comes Mike Doran out of nowhere, seemingly.
I think he just came out of the off the sideline.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Yeah, coincidence.
Just come right in when you need to.
Right.
That's cool. Nonetheless, Indian Hill's got to try to get an offensive drive going here, as we're running down out of time here for the Indian Hill Braves team to get something going.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Braves need to make something happen. Only 9:35 remaining in the game. Ill-advised shot there by.
Well, Indian Hill's they're trying to get something going on offense, but they got to go fast in this. They got to be more aggressive. 9 minutes is an awful lot of time, but nonetheless, 6 goals is also an awful lot of goals.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have time to be doing this. They need to make something happen and make something happen quick.
As Adam Chamberlain brings that into his net or stick of. Yeah, Bob, there's an interesting point I'd like to bring up there. A lot of people aren't familiar with the game of lacrosse, that are maybe tuning in, but what exactly is the pouch? You could say it's the pouch that they're catching the ball.
Yeah.
A shot on goal here, just wide. What is that? You hate to say pouch because then people think it's a kangaroo of some sort, and we all know it's not kangaroo hide. It's it's some type of leather net, but it's not a net either because then you might think fishing net or something.
Right.
By no means is it that thin. It's more durable than that. It's all weather. Is it leather or what's the deal with that?
I mean, it's kind of the meshy kind of net type deal. I think they got going there.
Our stat guys are telling me it's Brocken, which I know is pronounced correctly.
Yeah.
I believe that's a Bakken of some sort. That's
from direct descent of Aachen.
That's I believe that's Latin.
Maybe a Greek word.
Yeah.
Aachen.
Depends on which side of the river you're on, Bob.
Right.
Nonetheless, UA
is
behind the goal. They trying to get something going here on offense. Looks like they're swinging it around.
Wait, we didn't mean to cut off so quickly. I think that the players prefer to call it a now I'm at a loss of words. Not a pouch, but a pocket.
A pocket, sure.
A pocket. And you'll see the referees if
and
you
pocket, not your pant pocket. That's polyester
Right.
material. And some nylon, but some blend too. Yet this Indian Hill team is still fired up. This Indian Hill crowd is really getting pumped up out there, it seems, Bob. They've been pumped up ever since the beginning. They're still yelling stuff, even though it's not necessarily directed in terms of cheering for the Braves, but it's still noise, which gives it that home field atmosphere.
Right.
Oh, there's a high pass. That sizzled high, and right now, that's something that if you're UA's coach, that just has to completely drive you nuts.
Yeah.
To see that fly high, and you try to be smooth and you try to play fundamental, and you hate to take anything away from them, but they'd probably tell you themselves they haven't played that great of a game tonight. They've had a lot of passes fly high, and if Indian Hill shows up like they did against Dublin Sayota, or even Moeller for that matter, you hate to say it like that, but we could have a completely different ball game. But you know what? Right now the score reality: 7:32 left in the fourth quarter play. Indian Hill down 10-4. The sad but true tale.
Yeah.
Right now it's the bad guys, and the good guys,
the Braves, who haven't been so mighty tonight, Paul.
Alex Cole just had an open path. He drives down.
Oh,
Sean
there's
Chamberlain shot on goal, and he just it looks like he hesitated too late, and he got splashed from behind. It looks like, but still it looks like he released that a little too late, and he hasn't. He'd be the first one to tell you that he hasn't played a crisp, clean, refreshing game tonight.
Braves are just they've struggled tonight. I mean, there's no way around it. Sometimes you just come out and you just you don't have your best game, and you're just, as we say, you're not firing on all cylinders, and unfortunately that that happened to be the wrong game for the Braves. That's kind of been their story.
Sure, and it's a tough pill to swallow, but
yeah.
Right now this Braves team's just gotta put the kibosh to something, and their defense really it all starts with their defense. And right now they just have to play aggressive and just do some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he just cuts through the defense there, and here we go.
Here comes Matt
McCaw, and he gets it just knocked free, but he picks it up. We've seen a lot of Indian Hill Braves games this year, Bob. It looks like Matt McCaw is probably the best at picking up that ground ball.
Yeah. I mean, he's tough.
Looks like he just got slugged in the face there.
Yeah,
speaking
he's very
of tough,
good. He caught a little Ocken in the face.
Yeah, and that's not something you want to take a bite out of, folks.
No.
Believe me, that's about as tasteless as this caviar of sorts that makes up this turf.
Yeah, that we talk about, the rubber caviar.
Sure.
Quite tasteless, but fine if you put vinegar or something on it.
Salt
and vinegar.
For hydration purposes, Bob.
Right.
Not needed to reiterate for our audience.
No.
Which has now been minimized to 6. Nonetheless, shot. Sizzled wide.
Yeah.
David Kiriakis is going to try to scramble for this loose ball. It's rolling around. He finally, I believe he picks it up. He gets shoved out of bounds, and he flings it to save his life. And there goes another flag, as that one might have brought down rain there, folks. That one looks saturated from even here, Bob. I'm not sure, but
yeah. After he took out the albatross last time, I think he was going for rain this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's something to shoot for, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe next he's going to be searching for Ryan's belt, and that thing might not come down for a couple of light years. Nonetheless, it's going to be a penalty against the Golden Bears, and right now this Indian Hill team's got a chance with just under 6 minutes left in this fourth quarter to either try to make this score prettier or try to make a heck of a run at this. And it's happened before. It really has.
Yeah.
The miracle on turf.
Yeah.
And he'll swing it around, trying to get something going.
I mean, just that's just a tough. It's just a black wall of defense.
Yeah.
By that squad.
That's tough. They look like giant bumblebees, and right now they're swarming like hornets.
Yeah.
And their goalie's done a fine job of being the queen bee and protecting her nest. And
very good analogy.
You can't say it much better than that. Well, thank you, Bob. You can't say it much better than that. And it's a tough pill to swallow for this Braves team right now.
Tonight it's been, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And
they're messing with the Bears, so they're getting the paws.
Yeah. They've definitely gotten the paw where it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Just ask Wilmer.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, this Braves defense has picked up their play because they haven't allowed us goal in a long period of time, but that's that might also be due to this style of offense, this killing clock style of offense being applied here. All right, we got a nice scramble here for the ball, looks like. This Indian Hill team, this is a situation where you're worried about injuries because both these teams have plenty of year left.
Only 4:23 to go in this game.
4:20.
Yeah, 4:20 to go in this game.
And 4:18 left, and right now the clock's slowly clicking down, and looks like possession's going to go to the Braves. Looks like that ref's signaling touchdown there of sorts. Can we get a camera shot on that? Now he's just, it looks, it's definitely touchdown.
Yeah,
there it is.
touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown. There it is. All right.
Left of your screen,
well,
folks.
Right now the Braves could use a touchdown.
His hands appear to be stuck.
Tie this one up. But, he's I'm not sure what that's about, or he's looking for a high five and somebody's leaving him hanging. Or there goes the cone too. It's just a disaster.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Indian Hill swinging it around. They have to attack here. They have to. It's Chris Stokely swinging around. Yeah, Chris Stokely, the goalie, likes to bring this out a lot, and that's a risky play. As that ball just pops loose, and he leaves the goal open. And you know, this he does that a lot, and that's a risky play. That every time he does that, the fans' breaths just inhale, and they just worry about that. Loose ball falls now. As fresh faces are into this game. It looks like number 2,
Andrew Hoverson.
Andrew Hoverson's in. Yep. And he's he played a fine game a couple of weeks ago against Marymount, which we sadly couldn't announce for you.
Yeah.
And looks like he's going to get in and see some playing time. Also, freshman phenom Andrew Karyakis, AK, is in there for. Looks like he's playing a mid. Yeah, he's going to be a midi in there. So it looks like fresh faces are going for the Braves, and also number 19 is going to be in for the Braves too. So that's right now. The Indian Hill team's putting in fresh faces, and there's a sign that hasn't been fresh this evening. Is the sight of yellow cloth flying up in the air, as if a dying pigeon coming down. You know,
number 19 is Matt Scharfenberger.
Yeah. And right now he's talking with, having a friendly little conversation with the UWA guy.
Yeah, maybe talking a little bit of trash.
Well, I don't know. Right now we got a goalie substitution coming in, so it looks like he's going to get a warm reception from the Golden Bears here. As right now with 3:07 left, a 10-4 lead for Upper Arlington now, Bob. Sadly, it looks like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I think that there's not much left of this. 3 minutes to go. Much of the Indian Hill cheering section has already exited the stadium or heading that way. For those of them
talking on their cell phones, which is a direct signal that the game is winding down.
Yeah, trying to make plans for the night. I'll tell you what, I'm heading home to bed, but
Bob, I don't know if you're trying to send me any signals there, but nonetheless, we'll keep the game going.
I got your number.
Yes, that's the sad thing.
Yeah.
That's what's worrying me, Bob. Nonetheless, here, Upper Arlington's just swinging around and looking for a shot on goal, and they put it in the upper left pocket. And, you know, that's
not one for the confidence.
That's going to bring in a fresh line for Upper Arlington and a sad sight for this box score in tomorrow's paper, which might not have a feature on this thing, but might have a tidbit on women's softball if you're interested.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Kyle Lear is preparing to enter the game. I'm not sure yet if he's going to be coming in as defense.
Looks like he's going in as a goalie because he's changed his pads, Bob.
Yeah. Well, and he's just taking off his chest protector.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's just for flair or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's
he's coming in for defense.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe.
Well, we'll have to just wait and see. Well, as we wind down on this game, just a couple of thank yous go out to our cameraman.
Yeah.
We have Jeff Farman, the guy that just ditched People's Court. Luckily, we kept our fingers crossed on that one. He survived. And we also got Sumesh Thundathil up there, manning the camera, too. We got also Clark Brin for thank yous. He's our prepare guy now, as we've given him a couple of days off. In the van, we got Matt Johnson, I believe, directing, and he's doing lots of stuff. And I think Jeff Farmer's also playing a role in there if he's not on camera. We got lots of guys. We also got Spence up there.
Yeah.
Spence is a new recruit, a restricted free agent we picked up off waivers, who's done a dynamite job for us. He's a guy that, on the Indian Hill Television Network, it's in association with the ICRC. This is the copyright of IHTN, and all rights are reserved. So if you see this pop up on your Kazaa window, don't be shocked when Bobby comes hunting down and knocking on your door with a search warrant.
Won't be happy.
And a fist full of a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah,
so,
and we'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
And just a minor note, it seems like our IHTN sign of sorts, our fast sign, that displays that IHTN is indeed taping this game, has been stolen. If we find out who that person is, they will be prosecuted, and as we stated before, the knuckle sandwiches will be applied heavily. Nice save there by Kyle Lear, who indeed did go in as goalie, and he makes his presence felt. Although his outlet pass sails a little wide, that was a nice shot for the highlight reels there. He did a nice job of staying low there and making sure that ball didn't end up in the goal. And also coming in the game now is Andrew Granger for Indian Hill. Scott Randall in, Andrew Granger in. Sean Chamberlain's still in for this Braves, but still plenty of new faces. And there's
a goal.
He scores a goal and now makes it 11-5 for Indian Hill. But right now, that's about as academic as long division, Bob.
Yeah. His first goal tonight. Nice shot. Makes the score maybe look a little bit nicer.
We might have to get the stat guys on this, but that might also be his first point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but if that is indeed true, that's his first point. That just defines how this game has gone for Indian Hill. And when your best player, arguably your best player in Sean Chamberlain, your senior leader, scores only 1 point, and that point is scored no matter where the game is irrelevant, that's just defines on how your evening might end up.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like a check's going to be called on Andrew Granger, who actually did a fine job of laying this guy out in quite fine fashion, but there's going to be a foul called, and something a lot of people don't like to see. And out of the game now are even more fresh faces as George Tenike is onto the field. He's looking around trying to pick up his man, and looks like Indian Hills just trying to play aggressive here. They've got all fresh guys on here, guys who don't usually see much playing time, as does Upper Arlington. So these guys are going to want to have their presence felt just as much as this Indian Hill team. So.
Well, it's good to see these guys in here.
Yeah, we've seen them grow up all these years and youth lacrosse and everything.
Yeah.
And we just like to see them get their names in the paper. For,
we've seen these Indian Hill kids grow up, and it's a sight to see when they all finally get out there on a varsity game. Yeah,
it's just amazing, Bob.
Yeah, it really is. It's touching.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we got 1:20 left in this game. Upper Arlington has walked into Tomahawk Stadium, played excellent ball. Probably not even their best ball, which tells you why they're the top team in the state.
Yeah.
Indian Hill came out from the start, maybe a little bit too pumped and.
Another
not
nice
sure
save
what
by
to think.
Kyle Lear.
Yeah, they Upper Arlington scored 10 seconds into the game, which we thought at that time, was a bit of a mood point because, Scioto did the same thing and ASL still hung with them. But nonetheless, this Upper Arlington came in and, essentially dominated this game. But right now, Ross Bextermuller, defense man, comes down and chucks it in between two guys. Eddie Ferrugia gets hit from behind, and it looks like they're going to call a foul. Bobby, what's the difference between a foul and the laundry coming out? Is there any decisions?
I think the difference is that there's a push, which is just, a change of possession, but then there's the slash, which comes with the stick, which is the penalty, and that'll stick you in the box.
Yeah.
And there's a few other things that warrant flags, but we won't go into that right now.
Sean Chamberlain passes it off. This Indian Hill team just trying to get some more goals in here. Nice save by the new goalkeeper. We don't have a name for him, but
we try not to mention names.
We can make up one name for him. So Bob, I'll let you do the honors here.
Number 8 sounds.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Scott Randall makes his presence felt with the goal, as he does a little rapping thingy there.
He was excited.
Yeah,
I think that might be his first varsity goal. Congratulations, Scott.
He was doing his best imitation of me there, of trying to get jiggy with it looks like.
Yeah.
And, he got his first goal, and, how many times you say it, the guy that scores the goal comes on in the next time to take the face off.
Yeah.
And, that's
as he should.
That's a big play for him. That's his first varsity goal, and, with 7 seconds left.
Well, don't be deceived, folks. We seem to have it as a final, but not quite yet.
Well,
3 seconds going.
No, they pulled a wild card on you, Bob.
Okay, and there we go. Now back to the fourth quarter, and now it'll be final.
Upper Arlington walks into Tomahawk Stadium. They come out, get an early lead 10 seconds into this game, play excellent ball. Indian Hill didn't play their best ball of the evening, and they cost themselves maybe a seed lower in this state playoff championship game, which will be upcoming. Bob, final words.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell exactly what this means for the Braves. Didn't play their best game tonight. They came out, they got scored on early, didn't seem to be worried, but things just escalated from there, and Braves never really seemed to be able to catch a break. So, it was downhill the entire way, and UWA was able to come out with with the win, and that's that.
I'm Paul Neihart alongside Bobby Schmidt here. We'll see you next week from Tomahawk Stadium. So long, everybody, and see you later.
And good night.